2 games, 2 wins. Liverpool get the job done against Atletico Bilbao. There was a lot to talk about, a lot of good performances, some maybe concerns going into the season, but overall, I think it was very positive. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you hear me talking a little bit lower than I am, it's because I have neighbours upstairs and I do not want to wake them up. But happy. I am happy with that performance. Rio Ngumoha, Wirtz, Gravenberch, Salah, a lot of positives to talk about. We're going to get into it now in a second. But I think going into next season, this team has the potential to be absolutely unbelievable. Some of the performances today, they highlight the quality not only brought in through the academy, and also the quality that Liverpool currently have in this team from going on and winning the league. No, we've lost some players. Diaz is obviously gone. There's talk of potentially Núñez going. And Trent obviously as well. So Liverpool have replaced them with quality, but the quality within the team right now is unbelievable. But with that, I think the first person we need to talk about is from the first match, and that is Rio Ngumoha. Comes through the academy. He's 16, he's 17 at the end of the year. And some of these performances, he's probably been Liverpool's best player during this preseason tour. And I'll just bring it on to, this is his overall performance in preseason. Completed 14 dribbles more than any other LFC player in preseason. He also has the second most goal contributions. I think Gakpo is the only one ahead of him. All in 5 games and just under 273 minutes. He's currently averaging a goal or assist every 55 minutes. Special this man is. And I think with Diaz going, a lot of Liverpool fans were worried, saying maybe we should bring in Rodrigo. Is it the right person? Going for Isaac when we're probably a little bit short on the left-hand side. And I think Rio has solved all those problems. He has flair. He has drive. You can see every time that he gets the ball, players are worried about what he's going to do. And that goal today was just, he obviously got a few other goals throughout the preseason, and he showed that he does have that quality, but the finish, to pick it up in the first minute, to drive at the defender, then just to curl it into the right side of the box, the body feint as well, to actually look like he was going to pass it off to his left-hand side, just sheer quality. And I think this season we are going to see the emergence of Rio Rio this season, and Ngumoha, sorry. And I think he will give Gakpo a push to see what way Gakpo can perform, because I think he really will push him this season. But overall, really happy with the performance. In terms of maybe kind of after that, I'm going to come on to Wirtz and Salah and Gakpo in a second, but I thought it was very interesting how Slot actually lined up with how he was trying to get out of Atletico Bilbao's press. So if we kind of, let me just shift it over here for you. So Endo obviously was starting today. Van Dijk was a little bit sick. That's fine. Frimpong, Kirkes. I think this is more likely going to be the team that we see against Bournemouth on the opening day of the season. Gravenberch will obviously come out. It might be, I'd say, McAllister will be coming in, but they will play a very similar formation. But the interesting thing is, and I think I've seen this a good few times now in the first kind of 3 games, it's not a massive sample size, but Wirtz is someone who I said last week should be maybe getting the ball in between these lines, but I don't think that's actually how Slot will want him to work all the time. I think with how Liverpool play, he wants to obviously be in control and moving the ball through the lines quickly and with the right players in mind. So Gravenberch, who I thought was absolutely excellent today. I thought the way he was able to cover around the ground, we've seen him move forward into these types of positions. He obviously took the shot for Gakpo's first goal. And he was definitely someone that was advancing a lot more. The team was a little bit more fluid rather than what we seen last year, where Gravenberch was just that hold midfielder. He didn't really push forward too often, and Szoboszlai and McAllister were kind of the ones doing the dirty work in front of him, and McAllister being a little bit more of the creative side. But I think this season we're going to start to see a little bit more of that double pivot. I know McAllister did it a little bit last season, but I think the double pivot of, say, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, or McAllister and Gravenberch. But not only that, the way Endo and Kanate were getting the ball, Frimpong and Kirkes were pushing out to the right. So it was obviously dragging Atletico Bilbao out. And this is how Liverpool were doing it in this defensive third of the pitch. They were getting Gravenberch, if they could, to obviously pick up the ball. If not, Wirtz was happy to drop in here. And I think that's what we're going to see a little bit more of, because when he's picking the ball up in these types of areas, he's obviously not impacting the game in maybe like an assist straight away. But what we see is he's able to have that ability to pick out the likes of Gakpo, who come in, who pick out the likes of Salah, who comes inside. He's on this side. And then you have either Ekatike or Isak making those runs off Gakpo, and that's where we've seen Salah's goal come from. Obviously, Gakpo picked it up, and they're able to put Ekatike through. Ekatike with a lovely step over, gets to the byline, pulls it back, and then Salah is able to score with a lovely finish. So I think that's something that we will see a lot of next season. Wirtz dropping in a little bit deeper than what maybe is normal than what he would usually have done to pick up the ball and get Liverpool moving in the right direction. Because that way you don't have the likes of, say, Endo or Kanate trying to play that ball through the lines. You have the players that should be able to play it, which is the likes of Gravenberch, McAllister, or Wirtz. So I think that is interesting. I think that's something that Slot will start to use a little bit more. And then you have Kirkez and Frimpong on the sides for their kind of added width when Salah and Gakpo do make that move inside. So thought that was very interesting. On that as well, Wirtz, the quality that he has is going to be ridiculous. And I think this is actually, I've seen this stat, which is interesting because I think this is why you should obviously watch football matches, see how a player impacts the game. So you can see here, Florian Wirtz, first half, this is the touch line, okay? It's 0 out of 3 dribbles, 1 out of 4 duels won, 1 out of 3 shots on target, 2 big chances created, 1 out of 5 crosses, 2 key passes, and 100% long balls. Now, on the eye, that does not look good, but the way he got Liverpool ticking and moving in so many situations, like just his ability to just take one touch, set Liverpool off in the attack, and I think that's going to be so valuable in a team that love to play in transition when they can. In a team like Liverpool, when teams get caught out, they turn the ball over, and I think Wirtz will just flourish in a team like that because when he does pick the ball up, or when Liverpool do turn the ball over, and we've seen it, he nearly scored in Liverpool, one of Liverpool's first attacks. He's able to cover the ground. I remember seeing him running with Salah and trying to get into the box, and he's the same pace as Salah in terms of just pushing himself to get in and try and get a goal or an assist or be influential in the attack. So I think that's what we'll see a good bit of Wirtz, and just the quality that he's going to bring to this team is going to be unbelievable. With that then, the worrying signs of this Liverpool team, and I think we've seen a little bit so far this pre-season. There's obviously a new defense, especially with Kirkez, Frimpong coming in. I think they will be a little bit more open with Wirtz midfield, 100%. I think that's normal, but they need to be a little bit more solid when teams are coming onto them. I think it's been a little bit too easy to pass through them. I think that's something that might come with a little bit more match fitness, the more they play together, but the signs are there, and especially on that right hand side, I don't feel comfortable with Frimpong and Kanate right now in terms of their understanding of one another. I think Kanate usually had a clear understanding that when Trent was kind of bombing on or moving into midfield, that he was a little bit more exposed, and you kind of accepted that because of the levels that Trent was obviously bringing to the team. And Szoboszlai used to do a little bit of cover on that right hand side to help Trent out. But I think that right side especially is something that we need to be a little bit careful of, because too easy to get in down that left channel from an attacking perspective for Bilbao, and just playing through the lines a little bit too easy. So that would be something that I would be worrying about. But I think Slot is definitely going to be figuring out a way to obviously resolve that. Like, football is all about implementing your own style, that being figured out, and then implementing something else. And I think Slot will obviously figure that out as time goes on. But very, very good signs. Like Gakpo. He is one of the most underrated players in the Premier League. Absolutely. One of the most underrated players in the Premier League. Probably should have had a hat-trick today. I think Salah was cruel not to give him the ball when he was on a hat-trick, to take that opportunity, because at that stage, he gets a hat-trick, Liverpool go 4-2 up, the game is over. And yeah, I just think him, Rio on that left side, they're going to be in such hot competition. And I think Gakpo, obviously, it's his position right now, but it's going to be an incredible team. And going forward, they just look so good on the ball, so passive, so much in control. They just need to make sure they're converting them chances to obviously to see games out and not let teams like Bilbao get back into it, because teams that have quality, they'll definitely cause issues. But overall, happy enough with that performance over pre-season. Going into the Community Shield now on Sunday, the last game, and then we go for the Premier League again next Friday. So if you enjoyed the content, if you enjoyed the match, let me know your thoughts. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, everything like that. And yeah, I shall chat to you all on Wednesday. I'll probably have another video. I'll be chatting to you then. But yeah, enjoy the content. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and I'll chat to you all soon. Cheers, guys.